made the decision, you'll start to suffer, and I created in front of myself a 90-second rule. I got 90 seconds to get this shit out of me. In those 90 seconds, I figure out what it is, and I know how to stop suffering. I'm suffering because I'm having an expectation of not being met. And while I think it's life and death, it's just my preference. It's my preference if you guys had more energy when we started. It's my preference that you have a great time. It's my preference that my kids would do everything I want them to do. It's my preference that all my employees across all these companies will do all the right things every day. God will laugh at your preferences. And what I found is, I have my preferences, which are wonderful, but I'm still going to live in a beautiful state because life is precious. Hey, what if you were God? And you come down and you talk to one of your creations and you say, how's it doing down here? How's it going down here on earth? What do you think? And the person that you're talking to that you created goes, well, God, I mean, you could have done a better job. I mean, come on, why'd you make it so freaking foggy here in San Francisco? I couldn't land my plane the other day, and why don't you have planes that could cut through the fog? I mean, you're God. And why did you make all these irritating people? You know, I had so many irritating people that try to stop me from doing things. And you know, and also it's just like, why didn't you just make me rich? Why do I have to work? And besides that, you've got these little ants, you know, those little red ants, they're like this small, and they bite the shit out of me. Why would you create those for me? If you had all this bitching and you were God, would you want to hang out with this person? If you were God, you might, you know, say, I don't know. What if you go to somebody else and you go, what do you think? What are your other creations? And that person says, God, you're amazing. This is the most beautiful place on earth. This is heaven. This is extraordinary. I mean, there's so many different kinds of people. They challenge me in so many different ways. I have to grow to understand them and understand myself. And you make the fog, and you make the sun, and it's always changing, so I'm never bored. And you make these little red ants. Damn, they're courageous. I'm 10,000 times their size. They'll bite my ass. That's pretty cool. Who would you want to spend time with? The first person or the second one if you were God? Which one? So if you're not experiencing God, perhaps you're bitching too much. Perhaps it's not God, perhaps it's you, and you're whining and you're suffering. So I want to finish with this. Yeah, give a hand for that if you want to. So when you get the antidote to suffering, jot it down if you want to stop suffering. First, you got to know how you suffer and recognize and be honest. Second, you can't tolerate. We all get what we tolerate. So you have to make a decision. I'm going to be in a beautiful state the rest of my life. It doesn't have to be happy. It can be determined. It can be curious. It can be committed. It can be energized. It can be grateful. It can be loving. It can be happy. It can be any of these. But I am going to be that every day because I'm capable. And I've shown you earlier you are, because how fast can you change your state, my friends? How fast? Come on, guys, how fast? If you stop using your mind and you use your body and your heart, your spirit, that's what will put you there. The mind won't keep you there. It might get you there for when things go your way, your mind will feel happy. But what happens when they don't? I was talking to a man the other day, and he was telling me all about his company, and he lost the company, he built it up, it was $1 billion company, and then, you know, the venture capitalist guys voted him out of his own company. I said, welcome to Steve Jobs' world. And then he told me this new company's creating, but he doesn't want to put in, so he's afraid of getting hurt again. I said, you lost that company for a reason. Perhaps it's so you can build this company, which is going to save people's health. What if you and I stop the suffering by having one new belief? Here's what I believe in my soul. Life is always happening for us, never to us. We think it's happening to us because of our minds, but it's all happening for us. Even the pain, even the disappointment, even the problems. If my mother had been the mother I wanted, I would not be here today. If my father had not left, I would not feed 1 billion people, much less 100 million, much less 1,000. Maybe life is always about getting your preferences. Maybe life is about you becoming more. When you do, you feel more alive and you have more to give, and that's the purpose of life. Because when we're giving, we're outside of ourselves. There's no suffering when we're giving. In fact, when you're most happy and excited about something, what's the first thing you want to do? How many of you, the minute something great happens, you want to share it with somebody you love? Raise your hand if that's what you want to do. Say, I. Why? Because when you share it, there's only so much you can feel inside. Even if it's sex or rock and roll, love, drugs, whatever you think is going to make float your boat, money. You only feel so much. But when you share it, it multiplies. So here's the antidote to suffering. Identify your favorite flavor. Make the decision that says, I will not suffer. I'm going to live in a beautiful state no matter what if it rains on your parade. What if your best friend screws you over? What if somebody yells at you? What if you get humiliated? What if you go broke? What if you lose your job? Could you still be happy, yes or no? Other people have lost arms, legs, been blinded, lost their family, and they're still loving and happy and beautiful, yes or no? And they aren't just Mother Teresa, they're not just Nelson Mandela, they're any human being who decides to live where it's not about themselves. Sisters, I love you so much. The reason I want to support you, the reason you made those prayers that I decided I was going to fulfill those for you, is because you don't just feed people, you love people, people that no one else, people have forgotten. And you're there every day and you ask for nothing. And I know that's why you're fulfilled. I honor you both. I love you. Give them a hand. So I came to give you an invitation to come back home to yourself, to what you're made for. And it's beautiful that you do it in business. Can you live a spiritual life in the middle of your business? All it takes is live in a beautiful state. When you see people that seem like assholes, they're suffering. Have compassion. And bring your beautiful state to them instead of your judgment. Because you can never influence somebody with your But if you can give them love and they're not loving themselves, there's a possibility of the suffering ending. But no one can do it for them, not even me, and not even you. We can end our suffering when we take 100% responsibility for our experience of life. Not what happens, our experience of life. We can't control what's going to happen. There's going to be earthquakes, there's going to be deaths, there's going to be people we love that leave. We're going to get sick, there are going to be problems. But you can still have the most magnificent life. But it requires coming back and healed, not just here. And it's hard, as smart as I work hard, I'm not going to smoke. You could be here unless you're going to bring the pop in terms of your intelligence. I'm fairly smart too. But we're smart when there's wisdom. Wisdom is found in your spirit and your soul. Wisdom is when you connect to what matters most. What have you suffered over? Who have you suffered over?
That's pretty funny.
And isn't it time to end that suffering? If you do, there's a level of freedom and joy and love that I can promise you is more than any you've ever experienced. And I'm trying to tell you, some of you know what I'm talking about because you experienced it. But I'm talking about every day, every moment. And I'm not saying I never suffer. I'm saying when I suffer, I end it. The best way to end suffering is kill the monster while it's little. Don't wait till it's Godzilla and eat your whole city of life. If you turn yourself and train yourself to do it. And by the way, I did this 1.5 years ago. And to give you an idea, what happened was I felt the most joy I've ever felt in my life, and then I had 3 incidences. And you understand how I entered the room. I've been on stage for 39 years, working with 50 million people. I give my all every day. This is easy, this is 3 hours. My average seminar is 50 hours. My stress here is 3 hours. Because I don't like to talk, I like to go deep, because you might gather. And I like to condition it when we get up and do things, there's only so much time. And those 50 hours, I go full tilt. And I've been doing that for 39 years, and I like a crazy man. I jump much more intensely in here, because I'm turning it down for you guys, because you're looking crazy when I first come in, especially when you guys starting with your energy. I look like a maniac. But what I found at the time was doing that, hammering like that, it damaged the nerves in my arms, and so all of a sudden I couldn't sleep on my side, which I've done my whole life. No big deal, I'll sleep on my back. It's painful, who cares? You manage pain. Every great athlete does that, every good person does that. But then my wife was freaking out, saying, honey, you're choking, you're not breathing. And I was exhausted, and I went in and did a sleep study, and I had sleep apnea. But it was extreme. In 17 minutes, I stopped breathing 18 times. That doesn't make for very much rest. That doesn't make for health. So now I have this really sexy device. It's called a sleep apnea. Stick it up your face. It's a mask that pours oxygen. You will get girls for this shit, I promise you. But they'll be in the hospital, the girls that you'll get, right? And so I'm like, I can't believe this. I'm breathing through this breather now because of these nerves. And then I'm kind of crazy. I'm snowboarding and I rip 3 rotator cuffs. Not a problem. It's painful. I'll get worked, but then the pain won't go away, and the pain becomes nerve pain that's shooting so bad. I know how to deal with pain. But on 0 to 10, 9.9. And it's so severe I can't sleep. I'm in so much pain, and I don't want to do surgery. And the surgeon says, well, it's in your spine. He comes in and tells me it's not just your rotator cuffs. You have something called spinal stenosis, where it's tightening around your spine and crushing the nerves. And there really isn't a solution. You can do surgery, but there's no guarantee, and there's side effects. And the guy, when we first told me, oh, I've been in your business mastery program, I'm making $1 million, $2 more a year, and I went this other place. Tell me, you changed my life. And he goes, no, I gotta tell you, I'm your doctor. I'm gonna show you something. Your life is over. I was at the bedside now. I had not trained him, obviously, in these communication tools. And he told me, I can't snowboard, I can't play racquetball, squash, I can't jump around, I can't do this stuff. But I don't accept that. I was told I had a tumor in my brain when I was 32. It's still there. And I'm fine. I didn't treat it, and I'm fine. It gave me massive growth. I was 5'1" in high school. I'm 6'7". I tell people the difference is personal growth. I had growth hormone that exploded me up. I still have a tumor to grow, so I didn't accept this diagnosis. I didn't say it wasn't there, I just said I won't accept it, nothing to be done. In the world we're in today, you can find answers. So I pushed. I know some of the best doctors around the world, and I found a doctor in Australia who said to me, Tony, you can do this. You send me MRIs of people in similar situations, and the way they solve it is with 100 hours of hyperbaric oxygen, where you go inside a coffin, and they make it so precious on 65 pounds below, 65 feet below the ocean pressure, and they fill you with oxygen, and it releases 800% more stem cells, and it starts to heal. He says to me, though, before you come all the way to Australia, which is where he is, go do these blood tests so I can see what's happening in your blood, how much inflammation you have, what's going on. And I said, okay, and I went and did it. When I was there, the guy who was doing the blood said, you want to do a metals test? I said, you mean like mercury? I said, I had my amalgams out 25 years ago. He goes, well, we do lead and we do aluminum. I said, all right, let's do it. And then the doctor calls me 2 weeks later every single day. And I'm busy, so I said, send me a report. He goes, I must speak to you. Message. So I call him up and he said, you should be in a hospital right now. I said, what? He said, you have the highest level of mercury we've ever measured here in the United States. We measure on a 0 to 5 scale. If you're 3 or above, your body's so toxic, you can die. You can have a heart attack, you can have a stroke, you are 123. He said, the highest I've ever measured is 76. I said, that's impossible. How can that be? He said, we can tell by the type of mercury it's fish. I was like, oh my God. I'm so intense in my life that I made my diet really simple. It's salad, veggies, and fish. And the 2 fish I always had, and I'm telling you this, is swordfish, which I love, and tuna. They are 75-year-old living fish, and they eat all the smaller fish. They have 1,000 times more mercury today, but no one tells you this because the fishing industry would be ended if you knew. So, and 2 other doctors looked at it, and one of the other doctors said, how long has he been in the hospital? I just got off stage in a 50-hour seminar, 5-0, over 4 days. And I was like, no wonder I'm exhausted because it destroys your mitochondria, which creates ATP, which creates energy. I'm thinking, I'm just exhausted because I'm working so hard. And then I was also losing my memory, and then I've always sweat, but sweat like I did when I first went on stage here. Because if I start running, all of a sudden my body has to work so hard, it's pushing to keep going. I would be dead today if I had not torn my rotator cuffs, if I had not hurt my spine, if I had not been in a position where I hurt my arm so bad I can't sleep on my side and had to put sleep that long. Life is always happening for us, not to us, even when it doesn't look that way. It's our job to find the benefit. And I'm telling you this now for another reason, which is, please don't get your metals tested. The world we're in today is so toxic that out of 12 of my friends that I told this in the first few weeks, 6 of them all had poisoning. And they thought they were just exhausted or tired or frustrated. Lots of people get diagnosed with dementia. I find myself on stage, it's happened once or twice a year. You didn't notice, but I tell you now, where the hell am I? And I've never had that in my life. I do 50 hours without missing a beat. And it's changing. I don't have a script. I'm looking at who I'm feeling, I'm responding. But I'm like, why am I telling this story? But all that'll come back when it's gone. I'm down to 18 from 123. It's taken me 9 months to do it. I'm not there yet, but I'm almost there. Thank you very much. So if you're watching somewhere else in the world, you're here, go get a metals test. And if you do, and you've got this in your body, get it out. There's a man named Dr. Shane. He's one of the best metals guys in the world. You can find him on the web. He's made a giant difference to me. And I'm going to get those things back. But I wouldn't have got it back unless all these horrible things happen. I just give it to you as a metaphor for what you think is your worst day could be your best day. But it requires some faith. Faith that there's a higher purpose in everything that happens in our lives and making ourselves live for it. So I want to finish by showing you how to end suffering in 2 minutes. There are many ways. I don't have any more time. I'm out of time. You've been so gracious. I hope this has been